I got so many books again and I am so happy and sad at the same time for spending so much money. But here we are to do yet another book haul. So welcome to my channel. I'm Archana. This is my channel Read with Archie, where we talk about books, we do book recommendations, we do book reviews, and we do basically anything and everything related to books. Okay. So today I'm going to be showing you my book haul, all the things that I purchased. So it's a mix of Blossom Book House book haul and a little bit of Amazon and also one from Sapna Book House. Okay, so without any further delay, let's start off with the video today. But before I show you all the things that I got from Blossoms, Amazon and from Sapna Book House, I'll give you a quick trip to Blossoms in under a minute.
Softly to the leaving. I see a flame inside me.
So we're done with the mini tour. Let's go back to showing you what all I've got from Blossoms. So the first book that I got, I'm trying to read a lot more of Asian translated fiction. So this one is called The Meiji Guillotine Murders. This one is written by Futuro Yamada. If I'm spelling it right, I hope I'm spelling it right. So this is about Tokyo. It's trying to heal from a civil war and the year is 1869. And while it's trying to heal from a civil war, there's a lot of chaos, okay? It's really hard to keep the peace, and it's the dawn of the Meiji era. And they're trying hard to keep the peace. And there are also ideas from the West that is causing chaos in this particular area, okay? And at the same time, there are samurais, there are warlords and all of them whatnot. But there are also these murders that are happening that need to be investigated. So these murders are ranging from dingy motels to very high class hotels where people are just found murdered, and this city is rapidly becoming a capital of murders. But how will they actually try to keep the peace in the city is what this book is all about, and I just can't wait to read this. I think it kind of borders on historical fiction with a touch of thriller. I don't know much about it, so I'm going to read this and then I'll probably give you a full review of it. So this is my first book. Now, the second book is something that I'm very eager to read. It's called I Bet You Look Good in a Coffin. I read book 1 of this and it is called How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. So I kind of liked this book. I'll just give you a synopsis of book 1. So Kitty Collins is a fashionista. She's an influencer and there are a lot of people following her, okay? She seems to be this amazing woman, but she has a taste for killing men who are abusers, who do not value women's freedom.
And the list goes on and on.
Misogynistic men, men who just have no value for women's freedom, who don't honor women's freedom. So she goes only after such men. So she's kind of like the Robin Hood of this Kitty Collins world, okay? I'm thinking that book 2 is going to be similar. I mean, I'm yet to read it. This is after all a book haul. So here there is an influencer who's spreading a lot of misogynistic content online, and Kitty does not want to tolerate that, okay? She's trying her level best to keep her urges down, but I don't think Kitty is capable of doing that. So I think Kitty may go on another killing spree. And do you think Kitty will actually stop at just one person, or will she just go on and on like the maniac that she is? But the first book is kind of interesting. I mean, it's like a one-time read. So I'll let you know what I think about the second book in one of my next reviews, okay? So now let's move on to the third book. The third book again is a part 2 of this book, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, but part 2 here is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man, okay? So I read this book. I again rated a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, it's kind of cozy, but I wouldn't say it's like those thrillers that keep you gripped, okay? It was kind of nice. But as I said, if you read book 1, you have to go to book 2. And if you read book 2, you have to go to book 3, book 4, and you know how the numbers work. right? So yeah, this is yet another book I picked, but in this case, Vera Wong is now bored and she's at her tea house. Okay, so previously in this book, Vera Wong ends up with a murder at her tea house. Okay, and she tries to solve the murder because the police is not very keen on solving that murder. They think it's just an open and shut case, but Vera Wong actually tries to solve the murder. That is in book 1. But here in book 2, Vera Wong is bored right now and she sees that her son is actually dating someone, and that someone is a police officer, and Vera Wong decides to help her future daughter-in-law. So she tries to investigate one of her daughter-in-law's cases for her, and we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very eager to find out what is going to happen. So I may pick this book in a week or two, but yes, this is my book 3 of the book haul. I'm going to keep these separately, and yeah. So now let's move on to book 4. Book 4 is a childhood favorite. So this is called The Clue in the Jewel Box by Nancy Drew. As I said, it's my childhood favorite. I used to read a lot of Nancy Drew during my childhood and also during my teenage, more so in my childhood. So I can't wait to read what this is all about. So I'm planning to do a collection of Nancy Drew to keep on the shelf, but if you actually see my video, so next week I'll be posting a video of what I shot last week. So that does not include these books, but I reorganized my entire bookshelf and now I hardly have place for new books. So I have to do a little bit of decluttering. But yes, I'm planning to have a collection of Nancy Drew books, and I just decided to go ahead and add this to my collection. So now let's move on to the 5th book. The 5th book is a book of puzzles. I think you may have seen this book floating around in YouTube, in Amazon, and Bookstagram. So this is called Murder. It's a book of murder mysteries, and you get to solve those. So I haven't even opened this book. I need to see how this is, and I just can't wait to start doing some murder mysteries on my own, solving some murder mysteries on my own. So this is book 5 now. Now let's move on to book 6. Okay, so book 6 is yet again an Asian fiction. It's called The Rainfall Market. It is written by Yu Yong Wong. Okay, so this book is about I know I'm sweating a lot. I know I'm actually sweating a lot, but I cannot turn on the fan because it really affects the sound quality here. So please bear with me as I sweat through this entire video. So okay, talking about the Rainfall Market, there is a town called the Rainbow Town, and there is a market called the Rainfall Market. Here people get a once in a lifetime opportunity to swap their lives for something that's better. Okay, so all you have to do is purchase a ticket, and once you purchase a ticket, you will receive an invitation to the Rainfall Market. You can go there, pick out the life that you would choose to live the rest of your life, and yes, boom, that's how your life is all of a sudden changed. Okay, so that is what this book is about. And here there is one girl called Serene. Okay, the synopsis is not here right now. I think Serene or Serin, I'm not sure, but that girl is trying to go into this market, and she is followed by this cat called Isha. Okay, but these two are not the only people in the market. There is also a shadow lurking around, a shadow that's been following her for quite some time. So what happens in the Rainfall Market is something that I am very eager to explore, and I will let you know what I think about this book once I'm done reading it. Okay, so with this we're done with 6 books. Now let's move on to the next book. The next book is called The Breakdown. This is by B.A. Paris. So I actually bought these books about 2-3 weeks back when I'd been to Blossom's book house, and I got this for just 200 rupees. So in a span of 3 weeks, I've already finished reading this book. So I'll just give you a synopsis of what I read, okay, without any spoilers. So Cass Anderson is the protagonist of the story, and she has lost her mom recently, okay? And one day she actually passes by a highway when it is raining heavily, and then she sees a woman, okay? And later on the next day, that woman is found murdered. And it is all over the news, and Cass is not able to get over the guilt of leaving her on that road, because at that time she seemed like she was fine, okay? And then after that, she and her husband are kind of like, She's trying to hide things from her husband right now, and she feels that her memory is also failing her. She's unable to operate the microwave all of a sudden, and then she forgets her alarm code, and then she forgets what's on her schedule. She forgets inviting people over, and then they just show up. So this is what has been happening to her. Okay, the thing about Cass is that her mom had dementia at a very young age, just 10 years older than her, and she also lost her mom recently, not to dementia but to injuries sustained because of that. So yeah, that is what this book is about. It was definitely a page turning thriller, and I kind of liked reading it. Okay, I would probably rate it like a 4 out of 5 stars or a 4.25 out of 5 stars. In fact, I was so hooked to reading this book, I just couldn't put it down, honestly. It's like I really had to keep myself from just opening the book all the time and, just go on reading it. So yeah, this is yet another book that I bought. And now let's move on to the next book. The next book is called The Last Bear. This is by Hannah Gold. So a dad and a daughter go on an expedition to the Arctic Circle. Okay, now polar bears there are extinct. But then this girl accidentally spots a bear, and that bear seems lost. So she feels that the bear there is a kindred spirit, and she tries to save that bear. Okay, she is lost, and she feels that the bear is just as lost as her. The bonding between the girl and the bear is what this book is about. And if you're someone who's been following my channel, you know that I really enjoy reading stories about animals. So this is a book that I picked, and I just can't wait to read it. I think this is going to be a book that's going to probably put me on an emotional roller coaster, but I think this is something that I will risk all those emotions for. So yeah, yet another book from my book haul. And yet again, I have a thriller here. It's called The Party. It's written by Lisa Hall. So if you've been following me for a while now, you know that I'm a sucker for thrillers. I just cannot do without thrillers. So in this book, The Party, Rachel is one day waking up, and she kind of has very vague memories of a party that she was on last night. Okay, her husband suddenly left her at the party, and her neighbors also, who were at the party, they have answers to what Rachel is looking for as to what happened in the party. Now, why is Rachel looking for answers? Because Rachel wakes up with a lot of bruises on her, and she has no recollection of how that happened. But she's trying to ask around, but nobody is giving her proper answers. But then there is one person amongst them who actually knows the right answer. And the thing is, everybody has their own perspective of what happened. So that is what this book, The Party, is about. And as a thriller buff, I just can't wait to read it. Okay, so last two books. This one is called Anne of Avonlea. So this is the sequel to Anne of Green Gables, and I'm yet to read Anne of Green Gables. It's actually about Anne 5 to 6 years later, after the Anne of Green Gables, where she grows up a little. She actually goes to work as a teacher, and she tries to get the interest of students in her subject, and she also tries to fall in love. And keep in mind, this is a classic, and which is why falling in love at that time is about like at the age of 16. So L.M. Montgomery is someone I haven't read yet, but when I look at another YouTuber's channel, that is Read with Sushmita, she recommends her books a lot, and I know that a lot of people really enjoy reading her books. So I can't wait to read Anne of Green Gables and also Anne of Avonlea, and I'll also link Read with Sushmita's channel in the description below. Okay, so the final book here that I have is called Taste Like Shakkar. So this is written by Nisha Sharma. This is about Bobby Kaur, who is actually someone who's planning to take up the family event planning business. Okay, but now she's asked to help in her best friend's wedding. The thing is, somebody is trying to sabotage this wedding. Okay, but she has to somehow keep up with it and somehow get through those obstacles and make sure that this wedding goes off without a hitch. But the problem here is that she has to do really well because she's the up and coming event planner in her family business. And not just that, she has to work with a smoldering, hot, sexy chef called Bunty. Okay, so Bunty also agrees to plan the wedding for her because he is the groom's best friend. Okay, so now Bunty and Bobby need to partner up because there is someone trying to sabotage the wedding, but they also can't stop themselves from being attracted to each other. Okay, so this is what this book is about. I think it may have a little bit of close proximity sort of a love, and they are probably going to be like rivals to lovers sort of a story. I'm not sure yet, or an enemies to lovers. I'm not sure yet at all, but yes, I just can't wait to find out what this book holds for me. So these are the books that I got. The party was from Sapna Book House. This one is from Blossoms. A lot of these books are from Blossoms, but the Rainfall Market and Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man, these two are from Amazon. So it's a mix of things like for this book haul, and I just can't wait to read them all. So these are all the books that I got, and I know I don't have space in my shelf. Next week I'll be posting the other video which I shot before, so obviously it doesn't include these books. But yeah, I will be posting that video soon. So whether you're a new reader or an oldie like me who's always been into books, please consider subscribing to my channel because this channel is all about books. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay blessed, and stay kind. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.